Hey buddy, you shoot air guns, right? Yeah. Yeah, I shoot air guns. You do? Well, do you know how to get rid of the first shot flyer in the air guns? I keep having trouble with the first shot in the magazine. Is there any way around that? You know? Is there a way around the first shot flyer? Yeah, there's a couple things. Either don't shoot it, or try this. Okay, I'll try that. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you. Thanks for tuning in as always. And hit that like button because it's going to be a good video, I promise you. This is part 2 of the magazine modification for the standard 22 caliber Marauder style magazines. Now, a lot of you know that I promised a part 2, and the reason is, well, this time we're going to take it out to 50 yards, and I'm going to take some more pellet samples. I'm going to do 5 shots of each pellet with the factory mag and with my modification. So again, following the first part of the video, part 1, I'm shooting the Crosman Premier hollow points, 14.3 grain at 50 yards. The FX JSB 15.89 grain pellet at 50 yards. And the Barracuda Match 21.14 grain. Now all these pellets will be also chronographed in the lab radar chronograph Doppler radar system. And also, to go over my rig, again, this is the Avenger 22 cal regulated PCP air gun, regulated at 1800 psi, 0 turns on the hammer spring, still shooting with the pellet bumper and O-ring delete kit as always. And gonna have a target down range shooting through the side shot. So guys, keep watching and check this out. Oh, and before I show you the shooting scenes, I want to mention that if you're really interested in this, please check out the pinned comment below and or the video description, because I know a lot of you don't watch the entire video. So please check the comments below in the pinned comment or the video description for more info of what I'm talking about in this video. Factory mag Crosman Premier hollow points. Modified mag Crosman Premier hollow points. Wow. A little bit of a difference there. Definitely first shot's not a flyer there at 760-ish feet per second. Wow. Five shots, 50 yards, JSB 1589, factory mag. Not a bad factory magazine group. Next up is the modified mag, 5 shots. Alright. Let's see. Oh, I pulled that one. Dang it. One more shot here. I pulled that one. That was my fault. You can see it on the outside. That was me. And this is a real test. First shots too from the mag. Boom, right exactly where the first 4 were. Holy cow. Yep, that pull was me. Wow. Here we are at 50 yards. And you can see this is my first group with the Crosman Premier hollow points. First shot, I believe it's what it was right there. Horrible. That group whole way across center to center is over 2 inches. And about an inch spread for the best shots. Modified mag. That flyer came up, as you can see. An inch spread, all 5 or less, just a hair less than an inch there. JSB factory mag. You can see the first shots were one of these right here. At least that's what I could tell in the cameras. About an inch group there at 50 yards. And even with the flyer, guys, and the modified mag, that is less than an inch, like around the 3/4 inch mark. Wow. And 5 of them, again, I pulled that one by accident. 5 of them are less than a half an inch there easily. And that was one of the first shots because I reloaded the magazine with the very first position in the mag. The one that holds the tension, and it was right there. That is something. Wow. 50 yards. H&N Barracuda match. Factory magazine. Five shots. All right, next up is the modified mag. H&N Barracuda again, 5 shots. Let's see here. Wow, big difference there. Even though these pellets are not tuned in, that's a significant difference. Wow, you could tell something there. Look at that. The first shot out of the factory mag was 2 inches off the main group. The first shot out of the modified mag was about 1 inch off the center of the group, but the group is about 1 inch itself all the way around. I'll take that. H&N Barracuda match at 50 yards, 1800 psi on the regulator pressure out of the Avenger. 0 turns in on the hammer spring. That pellet definitely not going that fast at all, and it's not tuned in, of course, but you can see it did want to group up pretty decent for going that slow at 50 yards. Wow, that modified mag though really cut it down. I mean, in half. The first shot flyer got cut down less than half, or more than half I should say, excuse me. Wow, that's amazing. All right, here we go. So I have a big shoot and see target, and you could see definitely here the group here with the Crosman Premier Hollow Points first shot flyer group there. The whole group was smaller than the 4 shots without the mag modification. That is crazy. Factory magazine, mag modification. JSB FX pellets. You can see how it's like a straight line. And then again right here, that is a nice tight cluster. I pulled that one, but then I turned around and refired one in the same first position of the magazine that causes the flyers, and look at that. That is something right there. If that don't tell you something, it definitely works in my opinion. Now, we have the Barracuda match. So first shot, again, factory mag flyer, and 4 right here. And then right here we have the whole 5, as you can see. That whole 5 out of the magazine that's modded is tighter than the 4 right here, as you can see. That is something else. Wow. So I definitely created something that I think is really going to work. Now let me go over some details with you guys real quick, and I'll get to the chronograph data. Now, before I get to the chronograph data, I want to tell you that these magazines have the only single hole for the coil spring underneath the carousel. So please make sure, if you're going to order one of these off me, double check your magazines, because if it has 3 holes, then you have a legitimate Benjamin Marauder magazine. But if it has 1, I highly recommend getting this, I want to call it mag band, I guess. What I would call it is a magazine band, because the tolerances between the real Benjamin Marauder magazine and these one hole magazines here, you can see the 1 hole for the coil, the tolerances are huge. I mean big. And I don't know why, but they must have just started bundling these magazines in the lesser expensive guns instead of giving you a legitimate Benjamin Marauder magazine. I don't know. I just know that I've checked with a lot of friends, and most of them have this style of magazine, which is the newer style. It's not the exact copy of a Benjamin Marauder magazine. So again, the tolerances are a big difference in these magazines, like I mentioned in part 1. And also the 25 magazine, a lot of people have asked again about making this modification to the 25. The 25 magazine that goes to the Avenger, guys, had to be completely redesigned because it's one of a kind. That magazine fits no other gun besides a 25 Avenger or whatever 25 caliber Avenger variant. But other than that, there is no other copy, because that 25 cal Avenger is a beefed up 22 caliber magazine, and there is no movement whatsoever inside of here. No issues with that, and that's why I created this mag band. So let me go ahead and show you the chronograph data, and then I'm going to show you what this is. H&N Barracuda match, factory mag. Here we go. .653. First round. .659. .652. .653. .653 again, I believe. Okay, next up is the modified mag. H&N Barracudas again, modified mag. .664. Wow. .651. .659. .666. .660. That's it for the H&N Barracudas. Then I'm going to switch to the JSB 1589s. Okay, 15.89s factory magazine. $7.53. $7.60. $7.68. $7.63. $7.57. Now on to the modified mag. JSB 15.89s again. Modified mag. $7.63. $7.60. $7.57. $7.65. $7.61. That's it. Okay, so since we chronographed the Crosman Premier Hollow Points in part 1, I didn't chronograph them in this video, but I did chronograph the FX and the Barracudas. Now what I did notice is, no matter what, even though the pellets were pretty close in the chronograph, I still got a first shot flyer with the FX or the Barracuda match, and it was repeatable. Not only was it in my Avenger, but in past videos I had a way off flyer, very first shot out of the Origin. Now with that said, why is the number so close? It doesn't show it. Well, it's because it's a longer projectile, less drag on a longer projectile like that, more aerodynamic compared to a shorter projectile that can really take a beating in the air. So, but other than that, I'm going to show you what this is, guys, because it's definitely something. It's definitely unique. And again, I want to make these available for everybody, and keep watching because it's pretty interesting how I got this. Okay, so in this segment of the video, I'm going to show you how to install the mag band. Again, I want to make sure that you understand that these will not work in the 25 cal Avenger mag, because the 25 cal Avenger mag has a lot better tolerances, and you can see how tighter this is, the fitting and finish and everything in this magazine. And you can see that carousel, and that carousel is so tight there's no movement in here, and this helps with the 25, making it, in my opinion, out of the box, the magazines are more accurate than the 22. Now with that said, also this mag band will not work if your magazine has the 3 holes in the back. This is an older umarex Gauntlet magazine, but come to find out, this is a legitimate Benjamin Marauder copy. It is not a bundled magazine like you get with your Avengers and your Origins. So again, the older Gauntlet mags, if you have the 3-hole magazine, this magazine band will not work. Now, according to some friends of mine that sent me pictures of their newer magazines with the Gauntlet, since I don't have a new Gauntlet, they come with this style magazine. As you can see, 1 hole there for the spring. And they worked perfect for this because these magazines do not have a good tolerance at all. You can see where here's a factory one without the mag band in it, and I'll show you here. And I'll show you what the mag band is. You can see how much more gap that is right there inside here without even a pellet in it. And then when you put a pellet in it, it's even worse because it's misaligned in here. Whereas the mag band keeps everything in alignment once installed correctly, of course, as you can see. Now let me show you. I'll put a pellet in the mag band magazine and show you how straight it is up close. See how straight that pellet is coming out into the barrel of the gun? That's what makes this so significant as the first shot, because you can see that's in the first slot, and that's the one that throws the pellets off. Now that's with the mag band. Here's the magazine without the mag band, just your standard factory magazine. Again, Avenger and Origin 22 cal and the new Gauntlet mag style. And if you push it down, like it usually sticks out anyway, that one sticks out a little bit farther because it seems to slide down. Look how off that is. And that goes in the barrel like that, and what it does is it'll kick at an angle just like that into the barrel. And that's why we get that first shot flyer, is that this may show as too extreme, but the way it is that that first pellet is off center. Alright, now that we understand why it happens, I'm going to show you how to install it. So here's the mag band, and as you can see here, I have it already profiled just so you can drop it in. And you take your factory mag here, and this is a 5/64 standard Allen wrench or hex wrench, and you unscrew your top screw, and this will drop right in. Make sure you hold the carousel with your thumb, let it rotate back around. So you take this hook end and flip it around. We want the non-hook end, we want the straight end here, and you want it to go up in this crevice like so. Just walk it in very slowly, and you do not want to crease it. Now what we're going to do is turn the carousel and hold it like so, and it should fit properly in there like that. Hopefully I got some good light so you can see that. So that curve in the carousel here should match up with the curve on the mag band. And I have to hold my thumb here because that's under pressure. And this is how you can do it without taking the magazine fully apart. Now take your plate and get it on there just like that. Make sure you do not let that go. Take your screw, start it back on the threads. Take your hex wrench, screw it all the way down just like you took it off. And there's a easy, simple way of doing this. Just go ahead and tighten it all the way. Don't worry about setting it yet. I'll show you. Just go ahead and tighten it all the way till it stops, till you get there. It stopped right there. That's where it stopped at. Okay, so that means the magazine is locked. So you take your hex wrench, half a rotation like that, just like that. And you can see the mag band sitting there. and it adds stability again to the pellet, allowing it to be straighter going into the barrel. And the only thing is, it just adds so much tension on these pellets that you have to push them in a little bit farther with your finger, and it takes a minute. But again, the pellet is straighter coming out. You can see how much more straighter that is. And now it's straighter coming out. It's not crooked at an angle. It's sitting in there because of the mag band keeping the first pellet straighter. So there you have it. So now that I showed you what this is and how it works and why it's so significant, making your pellets more tighter in the magazine, and it gives you a better tolerance in the magazine, so that way you get better shots down range. Not only first shot flyer's gone away, but they shoot a little bit tighter just because they're not swishing around like I showed you in part 1 where they sit there and rattle. Yeah, think of it as those pellets sitting there just wobbling in the magazine, because they are. There's no holder, there's no placement, nothing. When that probe hits it, they just go up in the barrel, and if they're crooked, they're crooked, and that's how it is. Well, pretty much the first shot is always crooked because it's misaligned, and that's what this magazine band does. It helps out with alignment and keeping the pellet straight while they're in the magazine. So again, if you're interested, see the pinned comment below. Definitely check them out, guys. They're definitely worth the while if you have these style magazines and you always have that first shot that's out of the group, using the first hole in the magazine. So again, I hope I gave you something here, some food for thought. And if you're definitely interested, again, check the links out below, check the pinned comment. I appreciate it as always. I hope you got something from this video, and I hope this helps a lot of you out there with that first shot flyer. Again, that is, to me, is the most agitating thing there is out there, because the first shot is what matters the most, especially for me. You know, if I'm out in the field using my air guns for harvesting animal purposes or doing a trick shot, I want that first shot to count. So as always, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you got something from this video. Again, thanks. Hope to see you on the next one.